Yeah, come on. And welcome to the show. Oh, did you know that you probably got a nice mother? She's probably cool that she took you to school, and that's cool. Welcome to the show.
All hail the King of the West!
Hey, welcome to the show. Here we are. Shout out to my friend Toby for my shoes. I feel cool every time I wear them, and because I didn't pay for them, it makes sense because I don't have respect for shoes. I like shoes, but I'll do stuff like I was trying to make the sauna today, put the sauna together. I've been trying to unpack the house I finally feel like I have enough energy to finish the house. I feel like moving and all the things that happened, we just moved in and we made the bed and the kids' rooms and stuff. And
I understand.
The garage has just been this stack of crap.
Yeah, my house is about 80% set up.
Okay.
And I've lived there for 4.5 years.
Okay, that's good. Good. Yeah, okay, so garage was not set up at all. So then I put all the mats down yesterday, took the sauna out and put it in the backyard. And then I realized the heavy bag should be where the sauna is. And the heavy bag is 240 pounds, just the bag. And I'm like, that takes two people. So I had to wait for a friend to help me today. But yesterday I moved all the stuff out and put all the MMA mats in. And then I realized that there's no room for all the stuff that I took out. It has to just go back in over the gym that I just made. So that frustrated me, and I put it all back in a messy way because I was like, so you're telling me every time I want to work out in my garage, it's about 45 minutes of taking stuff out. I got to figure out something. I got storage. I didn't even realize. I said to Katie, I was like, we got to put something in storage. We got to get storage. She's like, we have storage. I was like, well, that's convenient. If I'm already paying for it and there's room to put that stuff in. Camping gear, Michael. How many times a year do I go camping?
I think of you as an avid camper.
Right?
I think of you as the kind of guy who
I'm like a Leyland brother.
Sure, everybody gets that reference.
Ask the Leyland brothers. Google it.
On a balmy spring evening is the kind of guy who will say, hey, Katie, what say we sleep in the front lawn tonight?
That's what we should be doing.
Yeah, I'll catch us a squirrel.
I've got, I think, 3 tents, which is handy because
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not camping. I don't know anybody that's going camping, but I have 3 tents.
Right. And I'm not
Camping.
going camping with anyone. I'm not going camping,
Yeah.
but I'm doubly not going camping with anyone else.
Right?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to
even
do it.
really want to camp with my family. If I was going to camp, it'd probably just be, I was going to say me storming off. I guess the more likely scenario is me getting kicked out of the house.
I liked camping when I was a kid because when you got your own tent, it was like the first time you had your own house.
Right. But now that I have my own house,
Right.
the allure
the
is-
allure's gone. Right. Because a house, there's so many
house
things
is like-
that is better than a tent.
house is like a gigantic tent.
But nice.
With a floor and
Yeah,
plumbing
floor.
and televisions.
Yeah, that television and that plumbing, let
Yeah.
me tell you, after a while in that tent,
Right.
boy,
Also,
do you miss it.
that I don't need to build.
Campers are so offended at us right now. They're like city
fun.
boys. We're city boys.
Hey, more urban grime for us. So
Look,
this,
I used to sleep in all kinds of stuff. Hammocks
I never
in the
did.
bushes, like wake up with. I remember what I rolled over in the hammock and it had a fly screen thing over the top of it, so I was encapsulated. And I rolled over in the night, and my face was up against the mesh instead of the thing that you lie on, and all the mosquitoes could get to one side of my face and they ate my face. And I woke up in the morning with banana back. You know when you get because you slept in a reverse banana. Like
No.
in a back arch that was, in a hammock with my stomach down.
Yeah, all right.
So I was like that
Oh,
with my
boy.
face, mosquitoes bit all this, and back-breaking stretch thing, but it was Easter. And I remember waking up looking for chocolate with a swollen face.
Aw.
I didn't care because chocolate rabbits make mosquito bites go away. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, all this explains why you're so excited about your sneakers.
Good. Because I wrote that down. That's what I wanted to do, to explain that one thing. I just love Toby. I just think it's super. He's such a good friend. He makes me feel good about myself because he's such a good person.
Katie, you're outdoorsy, right?
She camps all the time.
I'm constantly camping. While you guys were talking about camping, I heard a bunch of children, and I was like, why children so loud? And I looked behind me, and there was a mob of maybe 10 teens to preteens that
Do we
were
have fans? Are the kids TRLing us?
They were about to.
Well, like the new Jake Paul.
Yeah.
They were breaching the gate.
What?
They were opening the gate to come in the yard, and then I went and put my face in the window, and they all ran.
Ah, well, excuse me while I go commit some crimes against minors.
Yeah.
What are they trying to do in my house?
They're little. They come and they around in the yard.
With all due respect to your front yard, and
Sorry.
do what?
Curse.
Wow.
Sorry. There's a tire swing.
Yeah,
And
it is
they
good.
like to play on the swing,
It
and
is
I
fun.
don't like them in my yard, and they know it.
Why don't you booby trap it?
I've thought about it.
Put poopy on the rope.
Ooh,
Poopy on your hand in a swing is like, you'll never go there again.
that's such a good idea.
Thank you.
What if I just put turds on the seat?
Is it assault if you shoot them with the salt gun?
Is it assault?
Yeah, it's assault.
Yeah, but it's not assault.
Yeah. You're guilty of seasoning.
Like, will the police arrest me for shooting them with the salt gun?
You're guilty of seasoning a minor.
Bug assault. If anybody wants to, is there anybody listening that's a police officer
Yeah,
and
for
is
sure.
aware of the bug assault gun? Can I shoot a child?
I was never
who's
even-
entered my my domain.
I was never even deputized to go help track down an outlaw, and I know for a fact that's a crime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All
For
right.
sure, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. What if I spray them with a hose?
What about a boomerang? And I go, oh mate, this is this is how Australians say hello.
I think you could probably make
misread
a
me.
compelling case that you were practicing your religion, and that
I was
would
worshiping my
be
boomerang. And one of the
worshiping
kids-
your God with your boomerang.
Yeah. Every afternoon I come out and
Yes,
worship
your Australian God.
is koala bees. And he's a giant koala.
You just need a statue of a koala holding a foster's
And he has a
can.
big belly.
You're
And
golden.
he's like, what's the guy with the beads?
The guy with the beads.
He's super happy.
The Girls Gone Wild dude?
Nah, people pray to him. They don't pray to him.
Joe Francis?
Nah, the bald, he's a monkey looking guy.
Bald monkey looking.
They make statues of him. He's got a belly.
Pitbull?
Who?
Pitbull.
Pitbull? The rapper?
He's probably had some beads.
Nah.
Are you looking for Buddha?
He's, yeah, Buddha.
He's a monkey looking dude with beads?
Yeah, man, he wears like
think you've been-
bearded, he wears bead necklaces and he wears like a towel for a t-shirt.
I think you've been shopping at the discount Buddha store.
What are you talking
That's
about?
some off-brand Buddhas.
Buddha is a fat guy, right? Mm-hmm. And he's got beads and he does the leg crossing thing when he sits.
Yeah, he might have invented that. It's possible. We should be saying Buddha style when you sit like that.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, but he seems pretty cool, but koala bee is cooler
Even cooler. Yeah.
because he has like gum leaves and stuff.
Yeah, he's like Buddha, but stoned.
Yeah.
I get it. Combining all the best elements of Buddhism, Rastafarianism,
Yeah.
and your homeland.
Yeah. It's
And best of all, you get to hit kids with boomerangs.
peace, love, and Vegemite. Yeah, and you can wing boomerangs at kids for entering your house.
There are so many things going on in the world that we ought
the world.
to. Is there anything going on in your life that we need to talk about before
Nah.
we? Oh, okay, great. It might be time.
Death Dies playing at Ellis Mania.
Well, this is the first time hearing of that.
Right. Well, that's it.
Hell freezes over.
That's the name of the new
Not
album?
in this lifetime. That was the Eagles reunion tour was not. Was Hell freezes over.
Right, yep.
Right, and were they the
What
ones?
about Pigs Fly?
Pigs? We could be Pigs Fly because
Yeah.
GNR was not in this lifetime.
Yeah.
and one of them it might have been the Eagles where they actually constructed. Technically, it was separate stages because they all swore they would never stand on the same stage again for the rest of their lives.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe that was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I don't know. Classic rock guys are so annoying.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm over all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, the singer of Led Zeppelin's always angry at people for sounding like him. I'm like,
Yeah.
you were really influential. Don't be so bitter about it.
And I just found out that Don
Wolf
Henley.
Mother will get theirs. Don't worry about it.
I just found out that Don Henley,
Don Henley
Of the
Don
Eagles?
Henley of the Eagles.
the
of course.
drummer, singer, the guy, he sang Hotel California,
Yeah.
and then he was, I can see you.
That is America to me. Hotel California.
It's-
Like
Sure.
the accent and everything. That's just like
Yeah.
America, and it sums it up.
Even though it's kind of a Mexican reggae song.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is a bit of a reggae.
It's
Huh?
a total reggae song.
Got a bit of an up.
And yeah. Kind of more of a south of the border thing.
But he really Californias it up.
Yeah, even though none of the Eagles are actually from California.
No way.
Totals. But I just found out that, and this may be a little bit more nuanced than it sounded on first blush, with all due respect to the great Don Henley, that
Don Henley.
paramedics were once called to his house to resuscitate a 16-year-old that was passed out because of all the coke and lewds that were in his house.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. And then
He hasn't done that since
he got
1969.
that's Brian Adams. He got charged for like
Is
endangering.
Brian Adams Canadian?
He is.
All right. I know stuff.
Don Henley got charged for like endangering a minor by providing cocaine and lewds
What's up
to
with
a
that?
16-year-old. And then there was a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old who also got arrested at the house party because one of them got arrested for drug possession and one of them got arrested for prostitution.
Oh, no,
Which
Michael.
begs the question what 15 and 16-year-old coke-using prostitutes were doing at Don Henley's house.
Seems way more dangerous to be the youth in that era.
In the 80s, yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Like, it's got to be way harder to do that now, or
Dude,
is
like
it not?
3 different bands had songs called Jailbait. At least Nugent and Aerosmith. And I want to say, because I disparaged Henley elsewhere, and I want to take this opportunity to say, I think what happened is the Eagles had broken up and they were having a farewell party that he hosted at his house. And like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You are not responsible for everyone at your house
Yeah.
when it's the Eagles farewell party. And he says, sure, maybe somebody invited a madam. And sure, maybe she showed up with 15 and 16-year-old prostitutes. But there was a lot of guys at that party and it wasn't me. And I knew it was a bad scene when I found a 16-year-old passed out because she OD'd on my floor. And I could have tried to cover it up, but it was in an effort to do the right thing and make sure she
Okay.
survived. I jumped on the grenade, called the cops, and took all the charges. So maybe Don Henley was just sitting over there thinking about how great drumming is while the 15 and 16-year-old prostitutes were using all the cocaine and lewds he bought.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It's just weird that you have a party and a 16-year-old prostitute finds it.
Well, it's not that hard for a 16-year-old prostitute to find your party when somebody calls
Yeah.
a madam and says, "Can you bring us your finest 15 and 16-year-old prostitutes?"
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're putting down.
Yeah. It was a different time.
I mean, they probably still do that.
Yes. But I think
I
it
mean,
has a different
Pizzagate, Michael. Just think about it.
it's just not mainstream.
Yeah.
You know. I don't think
Yeah, okay. So it might have been people had 16-year-old girlfriends back then.
Yeah, exactly. And moved them across state lines and tried to get their parents' permission to marry them and said things like,
Right.
hey, well, wow, I'm 16 at heart. Woo, look at my boner. You know,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
at least now
That's a good
people
argument.
who do that.
I mean, look at his boner.
people,
It seems pretty youthful.
people who do that now
Yeah.
at least know that they're creeps and act accordingly.
Right.
Okay, different story. Speaking of rocking and rolling,
Yeah.
this lady rocked so hard
Yeah.
that like,
She rolled down a hill.
oh, it's maybe at the end.
Okay.
This lady went to a Marilyn Manson concert.
Who?
Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
Now I got it. She rocked very, very hard.
Right.
She apparently drank fairly heavily.
He insists.
And it's like the spirit of the devil compels
Oh,
you.
yeah, right. Because Satan is real and Marilyn Manson is possessed.
You might say
Right.
it's Marilyn Manson's fault for saying things like, I want to see you guys getting crazy tonight.
Yeah.
It wasn't her idea.
Right. No,
Right.
you were just sitting there enjoying a satanic.
The beautiful people.
Yeah.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it was like, I need you to get crazy.
And you're like, well, If you say so, Mr. Manson. So
What'd she do?
She drove home. I think this is in Canada.
Wait, after the concert, she remained crazy.
She drove. She thinks got especially crazy.
I think it's cool to blame Marilyn Manson for things, but I don't know if he's... Did he say drive crazy after the show? That'd be a weird request.
Why don't you guys
I need you guys to drive crazy on the way
Why don't you get
home.
wild on the freeway? Now, I might have my details a little bit wrong. Who cares? Drove into a house, which, that's pretty bad, caused the house to explode, which caused several other houses to explode.
That's impossible.
Which caused
There's more?
embers to go airborne.
No.
Which caused additional houses to catch on fire.
Yeah.
All in all, she was directly and indirectly responsible for about 10 houses blowing up, like 7 people getting injured, and maybe they're inflating these numbers a little bit, between I think $10 and $15 million worth of damage.
Nice. Is she blaming it on Marilyn Manson?
No, she's blaming it on the venue for serving her.
That's not how that works.
She got like convicted and sentenced to like 3 years in jail.
Yeah.
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty
Hefty
mellow.
fine?
I don't know if there's a fine involved.
Because if you have to pay, do you pay back those houses, or how does that work?
I don't think you could possibly. No, I would assume that they're either you have your insurance or their insurance. I don't want to get into the technicalities of, once you exceed your limit, who's technically responsible for it. But no, I don't think she was supposed to be like utterly financially ruined by this.
So what about everybody that goes to the football game and stuff? They can't blame the football. They serve alcohol there. You can't get a DUI and blame the football game.
I do think that you will see signs occasionally saying we will refuse to serve visibly intoxicated people.
Yeah.
There is a general sense out there that a venue has a responsibility to not serve the visibly already overserved, unless she's got a video of
What about if you think they're going to Uber home?
I mean,
it's Marilyn Manson.
but I think you kind of have to assume the worst, that they just don't.
Yeah,
They
okay.
don't.
Okay.
And that's why, like, at sports games, it's really typical that they'll, like, just stop even serving beer, like, 2/3 of the way.
Oh,
like
really?
a hockey game, maybe first 2 periods, none in the 3rd period. Baseball game, no beer after the 7th inning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a thing. But it doesn't say anything here about fines. She pled guilty, was sentenced to a 3-year prison sentence, and now her and her daddy have filed a lawsuit against Ovations Ontario Food Services. They are liable.
What about if you're really large? Can you sue somebody for serving you food?
Probably. The suit claims that the company shares liability because it kicked her out of the venue without trying to prevent her from driving home. So she must have been real hammered.
Right. Yeah. Kick them out and then make sure they get an Uber. That's what you're supposed to do?
I guess so.
Seems a bit...
Yeah. Seems like ultimately at the end of the day, grown-ups are supposed to handle their own business.
Yeah. And if you kick me out, I don't want to listen to your advice.
No, I'm all fired up on...
If you're like, get in the Uber, I'm like, I'm definitely not getting in an Uber.
No, I'm
You
fine.
kicked me out.
Yeah.
Get me a corn dog. That's what I would want.
Speaking of...
We should have corn dogs with alcohol in them. So you can get tanked on corn dogs.
Who's got the time to alternate?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You see people dip corn dogs in beer?
People are monsters.
I'm against that.
A famous, legendary Wiener Man statue was... Mhm. The
Do you
legendary...
mean just a statue where
Your-
they have
your-
a
your-
man's little concrete penis?
Your wife tells me she's met the Wiener Man.
Wait, you know the Wiener Man?
I know the Wiener Man.
Who's the Wiener Man?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I do want to know.
The pride of West Virginia.
I would like.
He might be what passes for a monument there.
Wait, he's a hot dog man.
Yeah, he's a Wiener guy.
Oh. And he's called Wiener Man?
Yeah.
Does he have
Sneakers?
bowl? Is he standing on bowls? Are those, does his hot dog get bigger at the bottom, or it's just the angle? Okay.
I think it's just the bottom of his wiener.
It's like he's got a huge dick.
Well, it's like he is a huge dick that somehow has a huge dick. It's like an optical illusion. He's wearing a sick. Do they make a vest like this? Because they really ought to.
A bun vest?
It doesn't have to be a bun, but just something that's like a vest that's also a vest for your legs.
Yeah.
But that allows all of your privates to be 100%.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Or
That's pretty
natural.
sexy.
He's a pretty hot dog.
Yeah. Now, if he wasn't a hot dog, if it was a sexy guy in that bun, that would be pretty raunchy.
So I don't know if I have the chronology exactly right, but I think what happened is this is like a famous hot dog place. Is that correct, Katie?
Oh, I'm not sure about this particular hot dog, but this hot dog man, there's several of these. Like Home Depot, the hot dog stand there, they'll have one. He gets around, this man.
And he always has that same purposeful look of determination as he dumps ketchup on his own head.
Oh,
Does he have mustard in the other hand?
He does. And he's got the eye of the tiger. This guy is serious about making himself as delicious as possible.
That mustard is pre-coming.
It's pretty horny.
For sure.
Devour me.
I mean, he's naked with a bun jacket on, just pouring condiments all over his naked body. Like, he wants it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a one-man bachelor party.
What's the beef with this guy?
I see what you did there. There was a fire at this West Virginia hot doggery, and I think maybe he was...
Hot doggery. Man.
And he was inside, and I think some ne'er-do-wells took advantage of the opportunity to run in while the place was not operational. They actually started a GoFundMe to try to save their hot doggery.
Oh, wait, did they steal Hot Dog Man?
Somebody ran in and stole Hot Dog Guy. So then
Could it not be considered as saving Hot Dog Man?
I think the fire was out by then.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I don't think the person who runs the hot doggery is living high on the hog. They said he was a local legend, this hot dog guy, this wiener man, and they offered a reward of $400.
Nah.
But then I think,
I'm keeping it.
well,
That's worth more than $400 from me.
I think
If I had that in the studio right now, I'd be pumped.
well, you said they have them at Home Depot. Let's get a wiener man in here.
Can we get a wiener man, Katie?
I bet we could acquire one. The one that I saw at Home Depot was like a part of the wiener cart there.
I don't want a wiener cart.
No,
I just want a wiener
I
man.
Yeah.
just want straight up wiener.
He was there to
What's up?
titillate you.
I feel you, Michael.
Hot dogs are so good, man.
I don't think that.
They're so underrated.
They're so
I
good.
disagree.
Hot dogs, if we're just throwing a barbecue in the backyard and you're not like a chef, you're not doing anything special, you're just throwing patties on the grill and throwing dogs on the grill.
Yeah.
I'm here to say that one is just as good as the other.
No, because
And-
your hot dogs are pretty bad.
And onion rings are better than French fries.
No.
I came to this realization.
That's insane.
Of course they are.
No, they're not.
There.
Potatoes are like glorious.
I come from potato people.
So
I
do
guess we
I.
both come from potato people. I came to this realization. I was at a barbecue.
Who comes from onion people?
Who comes from onion people? Who comes from onion people? Where do onions come from? I feel like onions come from the same place as potatoes.
You might be right.
You can't really find one without the other, right?
They seem pretty good to look. If you want to grow something, those guys seem like they want to excel.
Root veggies.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're not like these namby-pamby mangoes that need to be.
Like the pandas of growing vegetables and fruits.
That's right. Potatoes and onions are the rats
Right?
and the mice of
Cockroaches.
the vegetable world.
Yeah.
Tubers.
They're like, look here, we'll
Yeah.
grow anywhere.
I came to I came to these fast food related
potato,
conclusions
see?
this morning. We went looking for fossils this weekend.
Wow.
I should have brought one.
You should have. You've ever thought about doing a TV show about you finding fossils? Because I am enthralled.
We found
What happened next, Michael?
We found 15 million year old shark teeth.
15 million years old.
15 million.
How do you know?
I know because I carbon dated them myself.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Do you have a carbon data?
Are you accusing the guy?
Yep.
Yes, I do. Of
No, you don't.
running
You have
out
a carbon data machine.
Are you accusing the guy of running out every morning and throwing a bunch of teeth in his backyard?
Oh, is that what you did?
Yeah, it's called Shark Tooth Hill. And
I'm freaking out right
and
now,
there's,
man.
if you just spend enough time out there,
bought a game?
No, it's dirt.
And you threw all the...
It's dirt, and it has actual 15 million year old teeth and little bits of 15 million year old porpoise.
You bought it.
No, we found them. It's like you don't understand.
I don't know what's going on.
The
It's freaking me
natural
out.
world is.
You're saying you were outside in the outdoors
I went
and you
to-
found 15,000-year-old shark teeth.
There I was at Disneyland purchasing Fisher Price
See, now
shark
I'm
teeth
freaking out.
from Willy Wonka.
So you did buy it. You did buy it.
I got my fingers are still all roughed up from foraging on my hands and knees for prehistoric shark teeth
At Disneyland.
in Bakersfield, which could not be further from Disneyland.
Where all the fossils are.
Yes, because the entire west coast of America, millions of years ago, was underwater.
Nah.
But supposedly now man is making the ice melt. I actually don't understand how it is true that we're making it worse, but it actually used to be a trillion times worse.
I saw Leonardo DiCaprio tell me that the ice caps are 2,100 were done.
Gone, yeah. I finally finished
I don't know what that means though.
it.
Like I don't know what to not do.
Just like anything.
Just stand still.
There's almost even
I
if
eat?
you even standing still in your home, you're contributing to the problem.
So a sauna's probably a bad idea.
The worst.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing worse would be to literally dump it on top of an iceberg.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
So I finally finished watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's
Right?
fun.
It is fun. Can
You couldn't do it in one sitting, huh?
I was watching it on a plane. We landed.
I hate
Can
that.
Can I spoiler alert it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Right. I was thinking more of the millions of people who will be enjoying this.
Millions.
So, Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. Brad Pitt's in that too.
Right. Critical point.
Yeah.
Tarantino
Why?
made it.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's in it.
Yeah.
Hitler goes to a movie or something, and Brad Pitt sets the whole movie theater on fire and kills all the Nazis, including Hitler, right?
Yeah.
Historically inaccurate.
That's a spoiler alert for another movie.
It is. That was even older.
You
I
didn't
think,
alert anyone
I think
for
if
that.
we can do Once
Okay.
Upon a Time in Hollywood, I can probably do Inglourious
Okay,
Bastards.
Brad Pitt kills. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then
In actual fact, Hitler did not burn down in a movie theater, but actually killed millions of people and was a really, really bad dude.
what?
Yeah, the actual real life Hitler.
Spoiler alert. What? Hitler?
Hitler
gotta
did
be
not
joking me.
die in a theater fire.
Oh. Well, how did he die? I thought he didn't die. I thought like didn't
I know.
Tim Kennedy
I know.
try
Tim
to get
Kennedy
him?
still. I think Tim Kennedy was looking to see if because many. Real talk, a lot of Nazis did escape.
Man to man.
From talking man to man,
Okay.
a certain number of high-ranking Nazis did manage to get out of Germany.
Right,
and
they went to
Argentina, I think.
Of course.
Knowing that they would be prosecuted as war criminals, they got lost and they laid low. And that's like a true fact. So there's always been the idea that maybe Hitler was one of the ones that got away. I think most mainstream historians believe that Hitler and his dog and his secretary wife, Ava Braun, took suicide pills and died in a bunker underneath Berlin, but not before perpetrating World War II and killing millions of Jews, right?
Yep.
So it was sort of like a wish fulfillment thing that somebody like a Brad Pitt, an American hero, might have saved the world from that.
Right.
Okay. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is about the Manson murders, only in this case, the Manson family gets lost, actually goes into the house next door. Who's waiting there?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Kills them all.
Yeah.
The Manson murders never happen.
You're saying
So
if
is
Brad
this-
Pitt was really around for both of those eras, that we wouldn't have had those travesties.
I'm saying that Quentin Tarantino apparently has some sort of man crush on Brad Pitt. And
Who doesn't?
I'm asking, is every one of his movies now just going to end with Brad Pitt preventing a historical atrocity?
I'm okay with that.
Like, is the next one going to be him killing John Wilkes Booth or something?
I would watch that.
I think we all probably will.
I would like it if he killed that dude that ate people.
Dude that ate.
He's so hot right now.
Oh, Dahmer?
Yeah. Like do a new one where, he's eating people.
Ooh, and
then
Brad Pitt's gay.
Yeah. And then Brad Pitt beats his ass like he did Bruce Lee. Mm-hmm. Why does Quentin Tarantino hate Bruce Lee? He didn't even meet him.
Bruce Lee's a little silly. I can see where somebody may have wanted to go, yeah, he's great and all.
Why
but
was he silly?
he seemed like he was a little high in his own farts.
What's wrong with that?
I could see
Did you
where
not see what he did?
somebody may have said, we've been putting this guy on a pedestal for all these years. Can I point out that he's a little goofy too?
Yeah. I mean, he's not as full of it as, like, Steven Seagal is not as... I think Bruce Lee could kick ass a little bit.
Prime Lee, prime Seagal, figuring the weight difference, obviously.
Right, because there's a big difference.
Who do you get?
I want to say Bruce Lee,
Of course.
but he's got all those trips and stuff. But all those little flicky things, they don't do anything. And it's speed. You know, and he's not Seagal's not a kicker.
Are you sure? Didn't he teach someone a kick?
Yeah, no, that's not true. But him kicking, I don't think Bruce could be. I think Bruce can get out of the way of that.
Right. It would have
But
to
he's
be
still going
sort
to
of-
get inside.
He'd
'cause
have to
he's so
chop him
little.
down. Right.
And then when he gets inside, Seagal can get his hands on him, and he is way bigger, way stronger. Yeah, I know Bruce, according to Into the Dragon, did have jiu-jitsu. He armbarred some fools in that movie.
So ultimately, you think this is Seagal's fight to lose?
It's just, back in the day when
Yeah.
you were a kick-ass fighter, you still had a lot of stuff that didn't really work because you weren't really fighting people all the time. Like a lot of karate, no offense, but a lot of karate is not that good in a street fight.
Yeah, it's a lot of flair. Let's face it.
Yeah. So, but having a really fast jab and getting back out of the way, you could just win a fight with that in a street fight. But it's usually
Yeah.
a grappling match of sorts. And if you have all these weird little trippy things that Seagal has, I don't know, they all look fake to me, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I've seen a video of him like grabbing someone's hand and grabbing their cuff and making him roll over, it
Yeah.
seems like the guy's letting him do it.
Well, there's no doubt about that. We've seen the more recent exhibitions that he's done, like in Russia or thereabouts.
Oh,
where
the real, yeah.
the guys
when
are
he's really
absolutely
big and
playing
fat,
along with it.
that's
But I
crazy.
remember reading this expose on.
He could be on that 600-pound life.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah. He's getting up there. I remember reading an expose on Seagal in Spy magazine a million years ago, like when he was a kind of a new movie star, and they said that he was. Even at that point, they were calling BS on his backstory, and he kind of passes himself off as Italian, but he's Jewish, and they said that this person had been
And he
like
was Native American as well.
he's been on any number of things, that when they brought him in for like a screen test or an audition with studio executives for the first time, he was throwing guys all over the place. And the person who was telling the story to the magazine said it was obviously a setup.
Yeah.
And he said, I couldn't believe that the studio execs couldn't tell.
Yeah.
So do we actually have...
Because back in the day, doing
Yeah.
anything like that was impressive.
Right. Do we have video of him ever actually engaging
In a contest.
where we have no doubt that
Right.
the person is really
It's
trying?
an actual fight.
Does that exist?
I haven't seen it.
No.
It's always a seminar,
Right.
And whenever you're doing the thing where your hands are flipping with somebody else,
Yeah.
it's a dance. Like you're agreeing to do this.
Agreed.
If you're fighting somebody, we now know from the MMA where, somebody that has good kicking, it's over pretty quick if you don't know how to stop that.
Yeah.
Somebody who has really good hands, it's over pretty quick if you don't know how to stop that.
Yep.
You got your spinny kick, wax on and stuff. It's not good for people that have fundamentals. They usually kill you.
Yes.
And then now we know about wrestling and jiu-jitsu. There's people out there where if they get their hands on you, there's no Wing Chun, man. There's no, what all those to Tiger ones. I don't want to, who's the guy that was a Hell's Angel that was like on the Stern Show a lot? He had a show at one point, big dude. He was always at all the fights. Famous Chuck Zito. There you go. He knew several different, whatever it is, mixed martial arts.
Was he bragging about his,
Yeah,
here's
and
what
he
I
knew-
would do?
He knew like White Tiger and stuff. And I'm like, White Tiger?
Yeah.
No.
You're saying
You know?
things that a guy like Howard Stern would believe.
Yeah. But it was in the 80s. In the 80s when I think Pamela Anderson was into him at one point. Like he was
Yeah.
some hot stuff.
You could run that then.
And I remember him doing an interview on Stern, and he said He's well versed in several martial arts, and I swear, one of them was either it might have been a crouching. It was not a real martial art, and it was one of the ones that he's well versed in. And I remember thinking, "You're a big dude,
Yeah.
and if you punch somebody in the head, they're in trouble." But I'm not. You're not. Like I throw 7 punches and you go, Wing Chun, and then I get flipped upside on my head. Nah, you don't do that.
Yeah, the line between
He went to the boxing gym. He could box a little bit.
yeah.
But I remember, that's right. At one point in his younger days, I might fight in the UFC, and I remember thinking, please do that.
Right.
Please do that.
Right.
Because it was already past, we were in the 100. Around 100. It was when,
beyond UFC.
It was when
two.
GSP existed and stuff. It was.
Right.
He was obviously in a bigger weight class, but it was not a. It wasn't going to work out.
Speaking of fancy fingers, another fake sign language interpreter has come to light. Every now and again we
How
see
do they
this.
do that?
They're always fun. Well,
How do they get on there?
I kind of get where
It's impressive.
you have to take somebody's word for it. If your last person moved out of town, you
I know,
need
but
a
isn't
new
there
person.
a license or something that you need to have?
Maybe there ought to be.
Obviously, there isn't. I just realized because you can just say that you're the person.
This
Are
was
they doing that? They're doing nothing.
This was in Tampa.
And what's their angle? Have they done it before? Is this the first time they do that, or is this a thing that they love to do? Is make up sign language?
Well, the question is, could you fake it as well as this lady?
I'll be the judge. Let's see, because I'll try.
Because she's terrible, but she's better than I would be.
Another sign language interpreter accused of signing total gibberish. This time it was at the police news conference announcing an arrest in the Tampa serial killings.
We will be charging 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Standing off to the side, apparently translating every word, this woman.
We received over 5,000 tips in this case.
But it turns out much of what she was signing was nonsense. She waved her arms around like she was singing Jingle Bells, says one outraged sign language expert. The woman, identified as Derlin Roberts, has a string of arrests for fraud.
Yeah.
How
Nice.
interesting to be translating at last week's high-profile police news conference.
I just didn't ask enough questions.
Police public information officer Steve Hegarty told me the woman simply showed up out of the blue and offered her services.
Is there a lot of money in it?
I know.
Like,
no.
why did she do it? If she's a scammer, she scams that so that she gets what?
Addicted to fraud and gets to be on TV.
It was just to get on TV, wasn't it?
I think some people, it really is that big of a deal to them.
Could you imagine being a criminal that isn't like a criminal? It's more just you keep getting busted for like impersonating people. I mean, your main goal is you just want to be on television.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, like, you don't have a racketeering gig where you're actually pulling in money or like stealing credit cards. You're just like you're the person that gets people on the train, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're a waiter, but you're not. It's a tough job to want to be. I don't want to do that.
I don't think I would have called.
I could be security
I agreed.
because sometimes when I'm standing at the front of the comedy club,
People just think you are?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Go in.
Yeah, there's definitely less qualified people to do security than you who are currently occupied in security. I told you, not in Brazil. Brazil,
Why?
because there's a huge wealth disparity. So there's like the rich things and then the not rich things.
Yeah.
And there's not a ton of great jobs for people who aren't like born rich and go to college and stuff. And here's the most important part, everybody has jujitsu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but jiu-jitsu's only good in one-on-one.
I guess, but
Group fights, not a good idea to go to the ground.
the city that I was in, Rio, is crawling with guys in suits with cauliflower ear standing in front of like bars and restaurants and malls and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. It beats most of the guys that you're going to find at, Boomer's Bar and Grill.
Yep.
You mentioned
I mentioned a lot of things, Michael.
earlier, you mentioned cannibalism.
Yeah, I've always thought that I would be a survivor. Depending
Of
on
cannibalism?
life. Yeah, I reckon you could eat me and I'd keep going. And I also reckon I could eat you.
I mean, you got heart. I'll give you that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I feel like, if kids were there or whatever, I could maybe cut off a couple of slices of me and chuck it on the barbie for the kids. Mm-hmm. Keep going.
I think, practically speaking, what we find is that chopping off one of your own legs to feed yourself and
That
others.
might be going too far.
Ultimately,
Maybe a finger.
but just the energy that you would expend dealing with the self-inflicted wound would probably ultimately burn more calories.
If you didn't have the right tools, it could be a hard day.
Yeah, you don't want to remove and eat your own finger the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah. So check it. There's
Yeah.
a guy. You know Jameson whiskey?
Yeah.
It's not my scene. I feel like I'm supposed to like Irish whiskey, and
Yeah.
I don't.
Kerry Hart likes that drink.
A lot of people
His
like.
son is named Jameson.
There you go. Well, maybe Carrie Hart would be outraged to learn that he drank some whiskey that came from a line of people, including a dude who allegedly one time paid to watch somebody get eaten.
Oh, yeah? I mean, this is a long time ago, right?
How long ago is 1880 in your mind?
A long time ago.
Long enough ago?
Yeah.
So,
That's hundreds of years ago.
sure.
Pretty much.
There's two sides to this story. One would be, I mean, nobody knows what happened. It's like in remote Africa.
Maybe the guy was dying too.
No.
He was fully alive.
One version of
His
the
family
story
get
is that he
compensated?
goes through going, "Oh, hey, I'm Seamus Jameson, and I heard y'all eat each other. I'll give you a bottle of my finest whiskey if you eat him."
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. Oh, keep chewing. Yes. Oh, I'm getting really stiff now.
He got hard over it, you're saying. It was
That-
a sexual thing.
That's one.
Are you adding that, or
That's
is
one.
that-
That's the allegation.
That he got...
That
he
Seamus
was-
Jameson was so tweaked that the only way he could still get it up was to go to the Congo and pay to watch somebody eat somebody else, and that was how he got semi-erect.
Well, look. Was that like a thing that you could ask for? Because it seems
That
pretty
was
off the cuff.
Pretty standard for the wealthy. In
That's
the
what it
1880s.
seems like. It seems like there's a different era where people ate people in front of rich people,
Yeah.
and then the poor person got paid. I don't understand. How do you get paid?
Right. Sort of
You
a hollow,
got- you-
hollow victory.
Yeah, you died. Is this
Right.
like an honor or?
No. So the other version of the story
Oh, okay.
is that he's traveling with like his wife or whatever, and he's, in the heart of Africa, and he's far from everything he's ever known, and like a guide or whatever says, people eat each other here. And he goes, "Yeah, we've been hearing stories like that for forever. They eat each other."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, give that guy some money and see what happens." And he's like, "There's no way
Okay.
anybody is going to eat anybody." So supposedly Seamus Jameson gives the local chieftain like 5 handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Those are pretty nice. That'll do." Stuffs them in his pocket and says, "You guys, grab that guy." And they stick him on a tree, and then they got the and supposedly Seamus Jameson was actually lost his erection in the process.
Right, but he was hard at the start.
It had been fully hard until
Right.
that point. Yeah,
How was Mrs. Jameson handling it?
she was dewy.
She was clapping.
Turned out that was more
clapping the flaps.
That was more her speed.
Flap
Yeah.
clapping.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah, it's a flap clapping visual right there. Gonna be weird to be eating though. How do you decide which one gets eaten too so quickly? Sounds like it was a quick decision. Chief was just like, "Boom, you
Well-
get eaten." Like, that guy must have been in the bad books the whole time.
I think every chieftain kind of knows.
who's an edible guy,
The village idiot,
Yeah,
Right.
who's the expendable?
right?
Right.
You can talk people into being eaten.
Like now.
Yeah, like a really mesmerizing person. They could talk you into eating.
David Copperfield could probably eat
Exactly.
5% of his audience if he put his
Right.
mind to it.
Right. I agree.
What do you think is the most tweaked thing David Blaine ever did?
Ate his own poo.
Cool. Let's see. What else do we got to talk
But
about?
like with no hands. He like did a handstand.
Like just directly
Yeah.
in. No, never touched the ground.
No, right into the mouth.
Levitated.
Yeah.
Right. Just
He
floated.
rolled the poo. He
Floated.
rolled the dookie off his balls.
Floated up over his shoulder.
Nah. He got it behind the back, upside down. Like, yeah, just whipped at it. Just like a shark snap.
He went in to negotiate the deal for the next
Yeah.
TV special where he sits in an ice cube tray for 2 weeks. They're like, I
Right.
don't know, dude. Nobody cares. We'll do it for like 25 grand. He's like, hold that thought.
Right.
How much did you say you were going to pay me again?
What would you pay to see David Blaine do at this point? Because if he could vomit up a poo like South Park, I might watch that.
What would I pay?
Or
Well, I'd like
if
to
he put
see-
his hand in like one of those sinks where
Garbage disposal?
garbage disposal,
Yeah.
and then like everybody got to press it.
I would pay to watch him go into crowds of strangers and do his levitation trick where he stands on the side where you can still see that he's still clearly standing on the
Right.
side of his foot
Yeah.
over and over again. So everyone just calls BS on David Blaine.
I don't want to watch that. I like the mystique of.
You asked me what I would pay.
Oh, that's fair.
I met the guy. I found him full of mystique. He was mystique-ful. He was very odd. He said, "Excuse me, I need to. Is this the restroom? I'll be right out." And I heard the guy go in,
And then he was just standing next to you, and you realized that he didn't use the door to go in.
he was yelling at himself in a mirror.
Oh,
all by
right.
himself.
He's getting ready.
And I know, yeah, he was getting himself all blamed up. And I've said this many times, but I know someone
Probably have to.
who had the pictures to prove she'd known him since he was a kid, and she said he's
penis.
genuinely weird, and that one time he made her dog like stand parallel to the ground somehow over the phone. No TV cameras. No, he's just like, "Hey, what's wrong with your dog right now?" She's like, "Dave, what are you? Oh my God, Dave, stop!"
Do you think he's ever made his penis come off and have sex with somebody somewhere else?
I think he's made if he could make his penis come off, he's made it have sex with himself.
Right.
Yeah.
He does look like that.
I get that. I would love me
You
to,
would do that if you could do that?
I would love me too if I was David Blaine.
If you could make your penis come off and bone somebody, who would you bone?
I mean, I'd be on my list.
You would be?
Eventually, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta be.
Weird. You just don't seem like that guy.
I don't seem like what sort of guy is the kind of guy who, if his penis detached, would sooner or later get around to having sex with himself?
A guy that likes anal.
I gotta do it.
Do ya?
Yeah. I gotta see what me is like.
I don't think you'd be that pumped.
I gotta see what, then I'll pump again.
Okay. Fair enough. Sounds like maybe you'll figure it out then with that kind of mentality.
I want to know what me is like in bed.
Yeah.
That's what it comes
But
down to.
that's not really the answer, though, is it?
Well, you're asking me if I would have sex with myself if my penis came off, and the answer is the more I'm talking about it, definitely yes. I want to see what I'm working with. I feel
That's mighty gay of you.
I feel okay about it. I feel pretty good about it. I feel fine about it, but I don't have any proof.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I know, so I probably don't need to do that.
Yeah. Right. I just want to see how I throw down. I would definitely.
I would do it to people on TV because I would like to see their face when a ghost penis slides in there.
Like newscasters?
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
You know, today in the news, whoa!
Right.
And I'm like, I know what you just felt.
Right. I think a number of them wouldn't even break stride.
Good point. They are resilient athletes. Do you see Sal Masekela is going to be the announcer of X Games again?
That's wonderful.
Right.
It should be his job. He should be the Dick Clark of the X Games. Even if he has a stroke.
It might
it's not even really Sal anymore. And it's just like a dead skin mask of Sal.
That'll be a tough season. Yeah, but it's like owned by new people and people that are in the game.
Yeah.
So it looks like it might turn out to be a cool thing.
Well, they've tried everything else. They may as well try the credible angle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm amazed it went that long with how the people that ran it really didn't like it.
Right.
You know, like the higher ups were like, skateboarding is stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, because that's the thing that you're invested
Broadcasting, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've made like a 10-year commitment to promote, right.
in. Yeah, and it's not really a sport.
Speaking of extreme sports.
Yeah, that's us.
It
We're the
might
extreme sports show, Michael.
it might be time
Yeah.
for this one village or state or something in India to
Have a skate park?
cancel their annual kite flying festival.
Because action sports is more fun?
This is one of the most insane and horrific stories I've ever come across.
They
Kite flying festival.
make kites out of children. Oh, no.
They
Is it out of dogs?
fly the idea is that the strings can cut each other, and you want to be the last kite flying.
Oh, kite fights.
Yeah, they're kite fights.
Cool.
So they put, I read the story like 5 times.
Dana White should have attacked his wife with a kite,
Give him time.
and then he should have brought out kite fights.
When does slap fighting?
It's the same weekend.
When does
Kite fights. When does what?
when
Slap.
is the taste?
We don't watch it. We're against it, Michael. We don't talk about it.
I'm boycotting it. I blocked it on Instagram. I want nothing to do with it.
Slappy White presents slap fighting.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, well said. So they encrust the string of the kite with glass, and there's like also some metal involved, and they end up with very, very sharp kite strings. And the idea is everybody flies their kite. My kite beat your kite. Now your kite falls down.
They go in the sea and they kill the dolphins.
No, it's so much worse. Then the wind changed. Like 6 people had their throats slit.
No. The kite's wrapped around people's
Are
necks.
you calling BS on news.com.au?
Yeah. Wait, it happened in Australia?
No, it was reported by the Australian news. It happened in India.
Well, you know it's true.
6 people were horrifically sliced to death.
Oh my God.
By glass-encrusted kite strings after a blood-drenched festival in India.
Dude. You guys should have planned for that.
At least 11 people died because a lot of people were doing their stuff out of like balcony windows.
Oh,
and stuff.
no.
So I'm just reading the story here, man. I have not been on the ground in India to verify any of this or make sense of it, but they say at least 11 people died after either being sliced by the strings, it's not funny, or plunging to their death from
Off the balcony.
buildings. All in all,
How do you do that?
hundreds. Wait, how many people were a further 176 people sustained injuries from cuts and falls while flying the kites to commemorate the start of the harvest season.
It's so hard to have a gay time on your own.
Next time,
Plus, this pigeon got injured.
More importantly,
Yeah.
he wasn't even in it. How do you jump off a balcony because you've got a kite? Or are you saying that a kite grabbed one of them and pulled them off the balcony?
I'm wondering if maybe they were so scared of what the kite was in the process of doing to them that they like, whoa, 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 and fell off.
Nah. I mean, there's a balcony. There's no such thing as a balcony that doesn't have a handrail.
Right. I guess some of them could have been on top of
On the roof?
buildings, yeah. But still,
Exactly, still.
yeah,
But it's India, right?
it is.
Life is cheap in India, Michael.
Sometimes
It's not their. Well, I don't think they intentionally decided to make it cheap, but it just seems like there's so many people there, and a lot of people die there, and they got like disease and stuff, don't they? Like a lot of people die, and a lot of people have like extra legs, and a lot of people have tree roots growing on their hands. It's like pretty tough there. Tigers eat people. It's a different street.
in 2018,
It's a tougher street.
16 people were killed at such a celebration.
See?
Reports claimed
It's getting better.
4,000 birds required emergency treatment after they were caught up in the chaos.
Why would they be there? I mean, you're a bird. You can fly away.
If you already know ahead of time that you need 2,000 veterinarians on the scene in case things go
It's a bad idea.
about as wrong as we like. For example, like if you have a big music festival, you have to have a certain amount of ambulances there because that many people partying for that long, somebody is going to need an ambulance, right? If you're having a festival and you say, "Hey, we're going to need 7,000 ambulances," I think. Right there, I go, wait,
Tough to get sponsors.
hold on. I'm not sure this festival is such a good idea.
Yeah, like last year we killed thousands of birds and 17 people died. But yeah, we really would love you to invest.
Yeah.
Or play at it.
Speaking of which,
Oh, no.
the Fyre Festival guy is back with another festival.
How?
He's out of jail.
Is this just for a documentary or is it really people going to go? Would you go? How could you go? He's the guy that jerks you off.
Well, I'd have to pack some power
Yeah.
bars.
You get bad sandwiches, you get a bad tent, and you get rained on.
Fresh off 4 years in prison,
Straight back into it.
barred from ever serving as director of a public company, and buried beneath $26 million in paybacks to victims. Billy McFarland is following up the Fyre Festival with its PYRT, all caps again. So it's not pirate. He says it's pronounced pirate.
Ugh.
Which, that, even with liberties, that ain't how you spell pirate.
I wish like a giant ape would come by and eat him. Because we don't need this anymore. And if you're saying, hey guys, remember fire? Well, guess what? Is that not the craziest angle to do a festival ever? Or is it in this time, this wacky time that we live in where YouTube stars are the biggest boxers in the world? Is it the ultimate angle, and will it be like the thing that everybody talks about? Will it be like a sold out thing? Because everyone will be like, well, there's no way you could do that twice, right?
Right.
He was onto something. Is Ja Rule back?
Was Ja Rule going to be at Fire?
Ja Rule was, it's Ja Rule's fault. I don't know if you know this, but
Oh, was he? He was
allegedly
one of
Ja
the.
Rule started this whole thing.
I've met Ja Rule, and I'm not surprised that he was not.
I've met Ja Rule.
That he was not a details guy when it came to
Or have
the intricate planning. Have you met Ja Rule? We met Ashanti,
I think it was Little Kim.
the first lady of Murder Inc. They're so
I get
often
those two mixed up.
confused. Sure, some people thought Foxy Brown and Lil Kim were the same. You had more of a Ja Rule thing,
I met her too. As they all blend to me.
right?
Those three.
Foxy.
I remember, I can't remember which one it was, but they were real stinky.
Oh yeah.
But it was like a BO
Yeah, I think
thing.
you've told me that. I think that may
Yeah.
have been Lil Kim.
Yeah, in Vegas.
I knew Ja Rule to be a hygienic man. I'll say that for him.
Right,
I don't have uniformly great things to say about the man, but he smelled just fine.
right. Well, he knows how to put on a festival, Michael. Let me tell you. I just don't want to go to a festival where he's there. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but if I'm at the festival and it's like, you know, oh, come on, my baby. Yeah, I'm like, oh, man, are we at a loser festival?
Yeah, I've made a horrible.
Is that not? I thought there was somebody way more lit than him now.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, like you're supposed to listen to, you know, guys.
Yeah, there's
Not my
probably-
baby. That's all. That's nobody's my baby anymore, right?
No, nobody's. No, now they're just babies,
Right, Da Babies.
little babies.
How's Da Baby?
He's never been better. Thank you for
I
asking.
would like to see him perform.
Would you?
Yeah, just because I've heard so much and it's such a catchy name, Da Baby.
Right.
You know, what is Da Baby all about? Da Baby's a lady, right?
I don't think so.
No, it's a man.
Oh, well then maybe I'm talking about Bahad Bahabi.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I'd like to see Bahad Bahabi perform live. Because I heard she's putting on a hell of a show.
You could catch her outside.
We've come a long way.
Music.
Yeah. All of us. I mean, Bahad Bahabi, think about the triumphant story of her. She's way cooler than Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil was like, you don't even know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
little girl. And she was like, bitch, you don't know me. And then
Yeah.
you didn't know her, Dr. Phil.
No.
You were wrong.
He was dead wrong.
Isn't it weird that Bahad Bahabi is
Was right.
Oprah's fault? If it wasn't for Oprah Winfrey, we
We
wouldn't
wouldn't have
have
had Dr.
Bahad
Phil,
Bahabi.
and we wouldn't have had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is ultimately, I think, what her legacy will be in the culture is.
Do you
is
think
bad.
that's the reason Bahad Bahabi is so successful? It's because Oprah is the wind for her sails?
No. Yeah,
Right.
honestly,
she
I
did
think,
it by herself.
I think sheer chutzpah.
What is she talking about?
Bad behavior.
Yeah.
I feel like her songs would probably just be about like I'm cool
Lipstick.
and I'm a bad bitch, and I bet she addresses the haters a lot because I
Right.
bet she has some, and I bet she's got some
They can
real
suck it.
some real good stuff to say to them.
Right. They could probably suck it.
Do you think there's ever going to be one more rock song that everybody who likes rock is like, yeah, that's pretty much classic?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Because like I would
Except
say,
me.
I would
So
say
you and I won't.
Well, no. Because I would say the last one. I could be wrong.
Yeah, what is the
off
last
the top of my
one?
head? I believe it would be Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
How's that go?
Dun, 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 dun. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
the wife.
song, but
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
just,
but it doesn't suck. You're
They
right.
did. They
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
when they play it at a stadium, I'm like, yeah,
And that's a rock song.
that makes sense. That's a classic rock song. But I think that was the last one that absolutely nobody debates, and it's been a minute.
You're saying Metallica's last album didn't do it?
I don't believe the last Metallica album or
Don't.
I hate to
don't,
break it
don't,
to you.
Shut up, Michael.
the preceding 9.
Shut up. All right. Saint Anger was not great, but what's it called? The one.
Master of Puppets.
Nah, that was amazing. But then they did one that was good. With the big white guy with the frizzy hair.
Sammy Hagar.
The music guy that makes music for people.
The big frizzy Santa Claus.
He looks like Santa.
Rick Rubin.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did All Nightmare Long or whatever. What was that album?
Death Magnetic.
Yeah, they did Death Magnetic.
Yeah.
Was good.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I don't think
Was
it really.
good?
I don't think you're going to hear it at a Kansas City Chiefs
Yeah, all
game.
right. Wait, no, they. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's more into Sandmans and stuff.
It for sure is. Yeah.
Okay, so does that mean we have to do it?
Yeah, I think that's exactly.
Could you imagine if we did it?
You know what? The great thing about the world making absolutely no sense anymore
Yeah, right.
is that,
Bad
like,
behavior. I rest my case.
yeah.
Why can't
It
Death,
wouldn't-
Death, Die have the last greatest rock and roll song
Why can't we
ever?
make it on our phone right now? Like anything is possible. It's scary, but it's intoxicating.
Pigs Fly. I think that's the name of the song.
Oh, the Return of Death, Die.
Yeah.
All right,
That's going to be huge.
it's gonna be really, really big. Yeah,
I'm going to have hair. I think it's only fair.
I have.
Right, Katie, can I have hair at Ellis Mania?
I'd prefer you didn't.
I have exciting news for you about
Damn it, man.
humans and hair, but I know that we're out of time, so I'll save it for.
Can I have hair at the after party?
All right. I guess it'll be dark.
How about every moment that you're asleep?
Yeah, what about when you go to sleep? Can I have hair? Thank you, Michael. Right. But what about if you wake up and I just put a beanie on? Will that be okay?
All right, but
And then when you go back to sleep, I'm just like, woo,
Yeah, I got a fun story
driving in convertibles.
about human hairs, and by the time that people hear this, it'll already be on an episode that they can find exclusively at patreon.com/EllisMate.
Love you, everybody. Don't die.